One of the mistakes that I think ZIK made over and over again is this fascination for the American style democracy. If you understand how life works, even if you borrow an idea, you have to be able to transplant it within your own space. There's a book I read when I was a lot younger. It's called The Gods Are Not to Blame by Awolowo. Now, the story in that book is fascinating. The story itself is wonderful. Awolowo was a brilliant man. But what actually trips me a lot about that book is not even the content of the book, it's the back cover. I read the back cover of that book back in the day. This was in the 90s, and I still remember, because thankfully I still have that particular book in my library. I kept it all these years, and this is the thing that I would never forget. On the back of that book, back cover, it says here something along the lines of, Awolowo, would you guys mind if I get that book? I want to read something. I want to make a point. Would you guys mind if I get that book? Is it okay to quickly get the book? So, let me read this thing. It says here, in this play, the theme of Sophocles' Oedipus Rex is skillfully, this is the part I really like in this thing. It says, in this play, the theme of Sophocles' Oedipus Rex is skillfully transplanted to African soil. That's all. That's the only thing that chips me. In fact, not the only thing. That's the primary thing that chips me about this book. The theme of Sophocles' Oedipus Rex is skillfully transplanted to African soil. Let me explain what that is. See, Sophocles was a Greek philosopher, but he wrote a tragedy, the drama, a tragedy. The tragedy is called Oedipus Rex. What Awolowo did was to study that tragedy, that Greek tragedy, and according to this thing, skillfully transplant it to the African soil. So that when you read this book, why did I get this book? I've been keeping it for a long time. When you read this book, you will not think anything Greek. You remember King Odewale, you remember Bonka, you remember, who are the people that even acted? The woman, whoever, I mean, you know, if you've read it, you know the story. You know, how the woman got married to her own son. Bokini Ojuola, you know, you read all, you will think you're reading a Yoruba book or a story that is based on Yoruba culture and tradition. What he did was not necessarily to create something new. It was to transplant an already existing idea into his own context. So what that means that if you're going to copy something, you've got to be smart enough to make it so uniquely yours that people think that it was your original idea. That's the only thing I want to say based on this book. And I learned this lesson a very, very long time ago. And I think it helped me because as an artist, you know, people say it a lot. Artists can be thieves. They are thieves. That's what they say. We copy. If you are going to have democracy in Nigeria, it cannot be the type they have in America, because even the one they have in America is not the type they had in Greece. Every culture has to adapt an ideology and an idea to its own uniqueness, to its own unique identity. That's what makes it yours. So when ZIK said in this book that something's happening in America and everybody always talks about America, it's like there is a blockage somewhere where people don't understand the fact that America is not the standard of greatness. That just because something is accepted in America does not mean it must be like that everywhere in the world. Believe it or not, China has a kind of democracy. Yeah, we know communists. There's a kind of democracy in the way they run their thing, but it's uniquely theirs. Even if you say, yeah, it's communist because it was based on Russia, it's still different from how Russia played their own game while they were, you know, a communist organization, a communist country. The point of the matter is that this fascination for America is a sign of, let me not say something bad. It's a sign that people are not thinking deeply. Even if you are going to say America did something, you have to consider America does not have this many ethnic groups within it at its founding. America was founded for the whites by the whites. They are called the WASPs, White Anglo-Saxon Protestants. They made it for themselves. You don't have that kind of reality where you are coming from. So why is this fascination with America? America can do this. America can do that. The people you are talking about, the owners of the land, have been shoved away to the reservations. I don't want anybody to take my land and put me in reservations. We have to be careful with this American fascination. It's a great country. There's so much we can learn from them, but you cannot take things hook, line, and sinker and just carry it and just transplant it and say, America does it, we can do it. You will not be able to do it. And it's not because you're not capable, it's because you are different. Your reality is different. The point is that the way they were able to structure their country, you cannot divorce that structure from their history.